You think you're eating healthy, but might actually be harming your health daily, especially if you're over 60, and more so if you think fruit is always safe. The truth? Not all fruits suit an aging body. Some you think are nourishing cause low blood sugar, an erratic heart, bowel blockage, just from eating them at the wrong time, wrong amount, or worse, if it's wrong for you. And what's startling, all those fruits are actually pretty familiar. You see them at the market weekly. You assume it's natural, gut-friendly, fiber-rich. You eat carefree. Then one day your body feels more tired, dizzier. Medication taken isn't working like before. But no one suspects the fault lies with those seemingly harmless fruit pieces. Are you making that mistake unknowingly? In this video, we'll uncover 5 extremely common fruits that can be genuinely harmful if eaten wrongly after 60. You'll see why one jackfruit can make your heart flutter, why pomegranate eaten wrongly can raise blood pressure, or why a persimmon easily causes bowel blockage if eaten alone when hungry. To protect yourself or older loved ones from these sweet yet silent dangers, stick around till the end. And if this info helps, and you think others should know, a quick like or subscribe shows you're listening to your body smartly and kindly. We'll start with a dried fruit, seemingly harmless, even hailed by many as a digestive miracle. Yet for a body over 60, dried figs can silently cause diarrhea and disrupt medication. You take medicine regularly daily, yet still find blood pressure fluctuating, always tired, your stomach's always unsettled. Ever wondered, is the medicine truly absorbed? It might sound absurd, but what hinders medicine sometimes isn't the pill, but something seemingly harmless. A few dried figs chewed daily after dinner. Dried figs, to many older adults, are a gentle gut soother, aids digestion, eases bowel movements. No added sugar. But few know this dried fruit has very high sorbitol and soluble fiber, and overconsumed, especially daily, they can strongly boost bowel motility, causing mild chronic diarrhea, losing water, minerals, even medication absorption time, especially with blood pressure drugs, heart meds, diuretics. If not fully absorbed, treatment efficacy will markedly drop without obvious signs. A Stanford University School of Medicine study noted, in people over 70, just 5% body water loss can cut medication absorption by 20 to 40%. This happens most in those with high soluble fiber diets, without balancing water and medication timing. Max, 80, from San Diego, was very diligent with his blood pressure meds. But for 2 months, he often felt lightheaded, tired, slept poorly, and had mild night sweats. The doctor found no clear issue until he casually mentioned, every afternoon I eat 4 to 5 dried figs. Been eating them since my wife bought them in bulk. They help me sleep, go easily. Turns out that habit was the culprit. Sometimes it's not that medicine is ineffective, you're unknowingly preventing it from having a chance to work. If you've loved the mild sweetness of dried figs, that's fine. But try pausing, rethink the amount and frequency. Maybe just treat it as a small indulgence. Spaced hours from medication is enough for your body to accept both food and treatment safely. No need to quit, just know when to stop. Because in old age, the fear isn't lacking medicine, it's taking it, trying. But your body silently rejects those efforts unknown to you. And dried figs aren't unique. Other fruits, though hailed as superfoods, can quietly interfere with treatment. Pomegranate is a classic example. Ever take blood pressure meds regularly, yet readings still wildly fluctuate, like your body's not listening? Strange, right? Meds taken, schedule kept, but results vary daily. Few guess the cause is sometimes a helpful fruit, pomegranate, beautiful red, mildly sweet, touted as heart-healthy, antioxidant-rich. Indeed, pomegranate's great for those not on medication. For hypertension patients, its concentrated polyphenols can interact, altering how meds are liver processed, meaning you take medicine, but your body handles it wrong. Result, blood medication levels can erratically spike or dip, making blood pressure unmanageable, sometimes leading to acute hypertension. A Journal of Clinical Pharmacology report warned, its polyphenols can boost some ACE inhibitors' bioavailability, amplifying drug effects uncontrollably, especially risky for seniors with reduced liver-kidney function. Marcia, 74, from Austin, was praised by her doctor for great adherence. But recently she had morning headaches, slight dizziness, despite stable evening blood pressure. Finally, her doctor asked, "Any diet changes?" She smiled, started pomegranate juice each morning, heard its heart good. Just one small glass daily derailed months of her blood pressure stability. Pomegranate isn't bad, but on meds, anything heart good needs a second look. If you like pomegranate, maybe still eat it, but less, sporadically, and crucially, not near medication time. A few hours apart and careful post-eating blood pressure monitoring reveals differences. Don't let a gem-like fruit become a silent trap, disrupting your daily treatment. Because after 70, the biggest danger isn't no medicine, it's having it, but not knowing why it stopped working. Like pomegranate, some fruits seem harmless, but hide risks if eaten wrongly, especially with a less robust digestive system. Persimmon is one. Don't let a beautiful persimmon bough land you on the operating table. Extreme. Yet U.S. hospitals see seniors needing bowel obstruction surgery from eating persimmons on an empty stomach, quietly. Less drama than heart issues, but outcomes are equally severe. Persimmons, sweet, soft, smooth, seemingly safe for seniors. But that golden flesh has soluble tannin, a natural astringent, highest in unripe persimmons. It's especially risky on an empty stomach. With no food to neutralize it, tannin, gastric acid, and persimmon's insoluble fiber form a solid bezoar that can lodge in the small intestine, causing obstruction, cramping, vomiting, needing surgery. Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles noted, of 40 elderly bowel obstruction endoscopies in 2023, 17 involved persimmons, all eaten on empty stomachs, mostly because they felt empty, wanted something soft. Gerald, 78, from Fresno recalled, early morning, 2 persimmons, empty stomach, thought fruits gut good. That afternoon, unbearable cramps, hospitalized, stomach pumped. Doctor, lucky it was found early. The alarming part, blockage isn't from one meal. It builds silently. By then it's late. Love persimmons, keep loving. But after a main meal, with a stomach buffer, persimmon is a gentle dessert, not a double-edged sword. Now wondering, how many other mildly sweet fruits hide risks? You're not alone, surprised by a seemingly harmless fruit before. Perhaps a like for this. Curious about a fruit that makes your heart flutter from overeating. Consider subscribing, because number 4 will shock you. A fruit so common it's at weekly family parties. Sometimes what makes you unwell is eaten with a smile, and persimmon isn't the last. Other sweet, familiar fruits from childhood or gatherings can harm if eaten wrongly. Lychee is one. Hands shake, cold sweat, heart racing. You grab the table, not understanding what's happening, eaten breakfast, or just had a few lychees to tide you over. Sounds sweet, light, but lychee, that seemingly harmless juicy fruit, can cause a sudden blood sugar drop if eaten on an empty stomach, not due to its sugar content, but because lychee flesh contains hypoglycin A. This compound, with an empty stomach plus poor liver reserves in seniors, inhibits blood glucose creation, causing blood sugar to plummet. A 2017 Lancet Global Health study in India, where eating fresh lychees early morning is common, found children and adults eating lychees on an empty stomach face high risk of acute hypoglycemia, causing convulsions, confusion, even death if not promptly treated. In older adults, blood sugar self-regulation is weaker, so risk is higher, even with smaller amounts. Your body won't scream immediately. It sends vague signals, trembling hands, sweat on your neck's nape, slightly blurred vision, a skipped heartbeat. Then you grab anything nearby to avoid collapsing. Lorraine, 75, from Tempe, Arizona, initially thought she'd caught a chill. That morning, she watered plants while eating lychees. To cool her mouth, no breakfast, no water. Returning inside, she felt her legs go unsteady. Tried opening the fridge for water, but her hands trembled uncontrollably. She collapsed, unconscious briefly, woke up tearful and terrified. When my child came, I couldn't speak clearly. They thought I'd had a stroke, she said, but it was low blood sugar, and just from those few lychees. Since then, she never eats lychees before breakfast. You see, sweet fruit isn't always benign, especially when your body lacks reserves to buffer sudden drops. If you still love lychees, don't quit, but have them after breakfast. With a bodily foundation, fruit becomes a gift, not a trigger. And if you've ever had a hazy moment, dizziness, erratic heartbeat after eating fruit on an empty stomach, drop a comment below. Let's share, not to scare, but to stay alert together. And you won't want to miss our final point about a familiar, strong-smelling fruit, once dubbed nutritional gold. But eaten wrongly, it can make your heart offbeat permanently. The deeper we go, you'll see not every sweet, fragrant fruit, high potassium, vitamin-rich, is totally safe. Jackfruit clearly proves this. A familiar fruit, but it can throw your heartbeat off course if overeaten. Not a fall, not a stroke. What panics older adults most is when their heart beats wrongly for no known reason. No sharp pain, no breathlessness, just a sudden skipped beat, a restless flutter in the chest. Then your heart, like an old friend, suddenly falls out of sync with you. You might think it's age, but there's an overlooked cause. Too much jackfruit. Each sweet, soft segment, eaten right in the right amount, is harmless. But eat many at once, especially over 70, and your body may struggle to process the huge potassium load in that supposedly benign fruit. Per USDA, 100 gram of jackfruit has about 440 potassium, more than ripe bananas, more than mangoes. Just 10 large segments mean over 1,200 milligrams potassium, enough to push someone with mildly reduced kidney function into hyperkalemia, a dangerous electrolyte imbalance, possibly causing arrhythmia or cardiac arrest if not promptly treated. The catch? After 70, kidney function can drop 30 to 40% without clear symptoms. You eat, sleep, feel fine, until your heart says otherwise. Harold, 81, from Riverside, loved jackfruit since childhood. Every summer, when his daughter bought it, he'd eat nearly half a fruit at once, often refrigerated to eat gradually. One noon, after 12 segments straight, he felt tired, heart pounded, then suddenly slowed. Cold sweat, shaky hands. I wanted to call my child, but couldn't even type my phone's PIN, he recalled. I just thought, what if my heart stops now? Diagnosis, hyperkalemia. His heart temporarily irregular. Luckily caught early. Afterwards, he still ate jackfruit, but just 2-3 segments after a main meal and never alone. Nothing's wrong with loving a food, but after a certain age, what keeps you safe isn't dieting, but understanding your body has changed. If you also eat jackfruit often, no need to quit, just change how. Let jackfruit be a light dessert post-main meal, not on an empty stomach. A few segments each time, enough for sweetness without making your heart struggle. On blood pressure or diabetes meds, ask your doctor if your blood potassium is okay. If possible, note any unusual rapid heartbeats after eating, not to fret, but to understand yourself better. Don't let something sweet become why your heart loses its rhythm, because some tumbles aren't from a misstep, but from a faulty heartbeat when you thought you were fine. Sometimes what makes older adults' health decline isn't a lack of medicine, exercise, or sleep, but rather from over-trusting things that seem healthy, like a soft, sweet persimmon on an empty stomach early morning, a few fragrant lychees mid-sunny day, or a glass of pomegranate juice nightly before meds. It all sounds so right. But for a body now more sensitive, more easily imbalanced, that goodness sometimes becomes a silent cost you don't anticipate. After 60, eating fruit isn't just about getting enough vitamins. It's eating safely for your heart, blood pressure, digestion, and the daily meds you take. The good news? Now you know. You know which fruits require caution. Know how to observe your body, adjust timing, amount, and frequency, to still enjoy them without harm? Feel free to share in the comments. Of today's 5 fruits, do you regularly eat any? Ever had a reaction you didn't suspect came from fruit? We'd love to hear your story. Sometimes a small share can help someone avoid an unfortunate risk. And if this video was helpful, a like or subscribe helps us continue this journey together, eating right, living well, and staying proactive in our later years. Thanks for sticking with us to the end. Wishing you daily peace from small choices made with full understanding.